Right, welcome back to the page. It's your boy Steve. Just wanted to give you part 2 of giving yourself a promotion. Part 1 was about being teachable. Part 2 is about being willing to receive criticism to elevate, constructive criticism to elevate your game as you seek your next promotion. It's important. If this content video is important and it's relevant to you and you have a positive experience with this video, I want you to leave a positive comment at the end of at the bottom of the page in the comment section. And then also I want you to go ahead and give a thumbs up to the page, a like, and subscribe. And I want you to keep in touch and keep following me. All right? I'm going to get right into it. Today's part 2 is all about being constructive, being open to receive constructive advice to elevate yourself. Number 1, we get right to it. You need to make a decision, a conscious decision to be willing to receive constructive advice to step your game up in whatever you want to promote yourself in. You want to make a conscious decision that you're willing to be taught and you're willing to receive information from a credible source. Number 2, you need to understand the difference between constructive advice and hate. There's a difference between constructive advice and hate. When you're dealing with trying to elevate your game and give yourself promotion after promotion after promotion, you need to understand that constructive advice is all about helping you to develop your potential in a specific area of learning and skill, as opposed to hate, which discourages you from taking action. And constructive advice that helps you is all about elevating you as you want to elevate yourself. So it encourages you. Positive constructive advice is going to help you go towards the next level in stepping your game up, whether you are trying to seek promotion personally, professionally, or environmentally. No matter what you're trying to promote yourself at, you need to be understanding of the difference between hate and constructive advice. Hate means I don't want you to succeed. It's discouraging. It's downgrading you. But constructive advice brings you up and encourages you to be your best self. And it usually comes from a helpful person who wants you to be the best you could be in your area of learning and mastery. Okay, next step. You want to begin to distinguish the difference between advice and hate. As you go along in your matriculation of your area of study where you want to get promoted and grow, you want to always notice the difference, the evidences of constructive advice. Constructive advice is going to constantly keep lifting you, encouraging you to update your knowledge base, your information, your skill sets, and also it will encourage you to get a better inner circle as you study your craft. At whatever you do, you want to always keep on paying attention to getting your constructive advice from credible sources, because that helps too. You never want to take advice from somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. Always seek out a credible source, and if that advice helps you in any way, then work with it. Take what bit you need that will help you to reach your full potential, and run with it. But always remember that anybody you are going to be about growing yourself is not always encouraged among everybody. But that's why you got to be careful sometimes, know when to share your goals, know when to not share your goals. Because that's wisdom, to know when and when not to share what you want to know. And it comes from paying attention to your environment, paying attention to the people around you. That is important. As you elevate yourself, you're going to always keep on figuring out where to ask questions, where not to ask questions, who to ask questions, and who not to ask questions. Because you want to get your best questions answered from the right, credible sources. All right. So next is, I want you to make a decision to pay attention to the picture and useful energy of constructive advice when it's shared to you. Anytime you receive constructive advice to elevate yourself, it's going to encourage you and it's going to build you up. You know, it may not always feel good, but constructive advice will bring you motivation and drive, and it will encourage you to keep on rolling and going to the next level. And you want to bring out the best in yourself, and you want to pay attention to what you're doing, who you're becoming, but also use the best advice that works for you. Use what works for you. Know what's going to help you, and focus on learning, respecting the information, and taking what will work for you. And what works for you will get you to the next level. And what works for you, whatever you need to digest and understand and respect and appreciate and utilize in your field where you want to promote yourself, you got to use it. You got to use it all. Not just some of it, all of it. If you want the most benefit, you got to use 100% of the information you get, and also couple in some common sense with it and run with it. Next, you need to only accept constructive advice from those people who you know want to help you. And when you receive that advice, constructive advice, consciously receive it, meditate on it, digest it, and really consciously think about what you're learning, think about what you're being taught, think about what you're being advised to do, and use what works for you. Use whatever in whatever area, how you need to compartmentalize it so you can step your game up. Next, you need to practice healthy self-esteem. Again, self-esteem is important, and you want to go ahead and you want to maintain the right self-image. Maintain the right high self-esteem, high self-worth. Feelings of self-worth, feelings, high self-esteem, high self-image, all that stuff, it helps you. You want to practice that and respect yourself, reward yourself when you do great. Along the way, you're gonna have two things. Well, several things. You're gonna have some failures along the way, you're gonna have some frustrations, you're gonna have some successes, and you're gonna have some lessons along the way. But the main thing is you want to stay positive about yourself. You want to stay positive about yourself at all times. Practice high self-esteem. Again, self-esteem is simply the high self-esteem is pretty much the esteem of yourself, lifting yourself up. Even when no one else around you is lifting you up, you got to lift yourself up and care about what you're feeling about yourself. And you got to be proud on your behalf even when no one's around you, knowing what you're plowing your way to mastering. Okay? You got to practice that high self-esteem. Maintain that, because that's good backbone. It's a real good foundation to have in place as you seek mastery and promote yourself as you want to go further in life. Next and last, you want to believe every day that your potential is worth living in its full capacity. You want to believe that every day, that everything you're working towards, everything you're becoming, and the person you're seeing yourself achieve is worth it. And you need to take action. Take action to get awesome at who you are, who you want to be, who you want to become, and block out competition. Don't even acknowledge anybody else doing it better than you or you doing it worse than others. Look at you and only you. The best thing ever created in the world was a mirror, because that's the person you fight against every day. Against your excuses, your attitude, That's the only thing you're fighting against every day. That's the only person you're really competing against is yourself. So you need to believe every day that everything you're doing is worth it and your potential is worth living up to its full capacity, and take action, and don't compare yourself to others. And master whatever you set out to master, whether it's a natural gift you already got or whether it's a learned skill that you want to learn. Because honestly, we as human beings, we have the ability to be learning machines. We can learn whatever we want to learn. If you put your mind to it, like Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve, as long as you believe. You got to believe what you want. And you got to put your mind to it. You got to put your heart and soul to it. And honestly, most people aren't naturally gifted at the same things like singing, dancing, acting. That's not everybody's field. But it's amazing how we as human beings can develop our full potential and learn whatever we want to learn and master it and get plenty rewards in it, whether it be financial, environmental, emotional, sexual, spiritual, intellectual, psychological, metaphysical. Whatever reward you want in this life, you can have it as long as you believe you're worth it and the action you take each day is necessary. And whatever you want to learn, you can do it as long as you put your mind to it and you're consistent, and don't compare yourself to others, because there's nobody better than you but you. There is no one in this world who deserves more credit from yourself than you. All right. If this video helped you in any way, I want you to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my page. Leave a positive comment. Anything I say, my only purpose is to uplift, educate, and inspire you to be your best self. So be successful. Leave a positive comment. And leave your positive feedback. I love to hear from all the people who subscribe or just want to leave a comment. All right? You have a great day. Peace.